Hey you. Yes, you. I have a question for you. What do you think it takes to beat Fallen mode? Perhaps some strong towers like Ranger. Maybe some pretty good supports like BJ. And certainly you'd need at least one advanced tower to make this possible, right? Well, last week I was just playing around in Fallen and I managed to beat it with this. That's a pretty cheap loadout. I mean, it only uses intermediate towers. It costs under 10,000 coins. So I decided to go over and search cheapest solo Fallen loadout. There's this video by Marcel in which he uses this. Crook Boss, Freezer, Rocketeer, Sniper. And he manages to beat Fallen with it. So good job, Marcel. I mean, that was a 3,000 coin loadout. Pretty impressive. But he used Crook Boss, which I feel like is a little bit cheating, because I mean, I could go use Turret and say, hey guys, look, new cheapest loadout. Turret doesn't cost anything, but I think this would be a very valid substitute. Militant, as we know, got its price changed to now be cheaper, only 650 coins. And so I'd probably consider this loadout to be probably legitimately the cheapest one that can maybe solo Fallen. Or at least that's what I'm going to be trying to find out today. I'm also going to be trying this on Necropolis, because Fungi, while it is the longest map in the game, that's boring. Who wants to play on the easiest, longest map? Second to Moonbase and Polluted, of course, but like, you know, you can't play that on Fallen. So yes, we're trying to work with this to beat freaking Fallen mode. This is, I don't know how this is going to work. And so I'm going to start with Sniper here and make the save up for Militant, which realistically would be really good back here. Now, Necropolis is actually kind of underrated as a map. Like, it's extremely good. Probably up there with the top maybe 3 or 4 best maps in TDS. Anyways, let's get our Militant with a dead zone placed down. I mean, that's just a bug if you select Rocketeer and then switch towers. Now whatever you have selected also has a dead zone. That obviously doesn't stay though, but that would be quite the challenge to do in TDS, but everything has a dead zone. I mean, imagine this, bro. My freezer can't freeze around this red range. Militant also got reworked, by the way. I don't know when. It's probably 2 or 3 updates ago. But you see how, like, does 2 damage, 4 damage? Well, at max it does 12. So definitely don't sleep on Militant. It is going to make a really big difference, and I'm getting it here at the front to speed up the early game. It is actually incredibly strong here. It's doing over 10 DPS, has a really good range, and now I can actually afford Rocketeer. So the plan is, well, I'm going to start with the first Rocketeer probably right here, because I want all my Rocketeers to be around this area. That way when I max them out, they'll be able to see around the whole front, and hopefully around this bend back here too. That way if anything gets far, we are going to handle it. And I mean, yes, the dead zone is going to be a problem, but it's only going to be like this little bit right here. The dead zone is actually not a problem for Rocketeer if you can keep it constantly attacking. That being said, I'm going straight for level 2 here on Rocketeer. It's an extremely cost-efficient upgrade, better than level 0 and 1 at least. And next up, I'm actually going to get Freezer, because you see these hordes right here? We're about to get so much more out of our Militant as we cluster them up with our Freezer. Did you just, like, beautiful. Freezer is extremely underrated. You barely need to do anything. You just have it placed down and it'll just make a big impact. And the goal would either be for me to rush, actually, now that I think about it, there's going to be a lot of fast enemies that the Rocketeer would probably lose to. So I think I'm going to build a safety net out of level 2 snipers here. These things are great. 12 damage a shot. Extremely good range, especially on this map. Even though I wouldn't be surprised if Militant was more worth the money, I still don't think this is a bad idea now. Come on. There we go. Got it. Oh, that was pixel perfect. Honestly, let's just get a Militant back here. This is probably the best spot for it. As we get upskill here, we can almost reach, but this next upgrade, 12 damage. Like, how much time is that going to shoot per second? Like, a little over 6? Almost 7 shots per second. That would put us at, like, basically 80 DPS, which is pretty good for the money we're going to be paying for this thing. Also, completely freezing Fallen Squire with a level 2 freezer. That being said though, this wave is very problematic. I'm going to set the Rocketeer on strongest here, and I'm going to get a second Militant. And actually, no Militant. Let's get a freezer back here, because it is Fallens. And really, Fallens are made easy by freezer because they just, like, they get stopped. Like, look how slow they're moving. They literally can't move. Most underrated tower right here. See this? 600 HP Fallen? Boom. Now it's like, it's just stuck. You can barely move until it gets stuck again anyways. So can the Squires. Okay, there we go. Max level Militant. Just as I expected, it sees around this entire loop. It's a wonderful spot, and just in time for the Fallen Giant here with 3000 HP. In theory, should be no issue. This is where the freezer, unfortunately, will not have any impact. But most definitely, I'm appreciating the damage I'm seeing here right now. Now I can get explosive risks and make the save up for max level Rocketeer here. And now that I think about it, max level will definitely not be seeing all the way to over here, but we will still be seeing the entire front up to here and a little past as well, which is still going to be absolutely fantastic for damage. And so far, no issues. Nothing's really made it past this bend yet. This thing is going to be the first thing to push pretty far. Oh, and just get completely frozen. Okay. And now that I got max level Rocketeer, I'm going to set it to random. And yeah, it's GG's for the enemies. This is by far the best intermediate tower right now. Like, the stuff you can do with Rocketeer is just dismal. It makes a joke out of everything. So, no reason not to start working on a second one right away. Here come flying enemies on this wave. Now, that shouldn't be an issue because militant and snipers, they all have flying detection. But I low-key forgot that these enemies come out or... Okay, never mind, bro. The Rocketeer splash can reach them. So if the tower wasn't good enough, well, there you go. It can also do that. This wave's a little bit scary looking because we're only targeting the front, but Freezer clutches up as always. I'm actually going to get a max Freezer back here because I know there's going to be some Corrupted Fallens coming up soon. I don't remember exactly when, but I do remember that they are not fun. So I'd like to be able to freeze them and then freeze grenade on top of that, which would hopefully make them pretty easy. So I think they come out this wave actually. Oh, never mind. We can probably get another max Rocketeer before they come out. And I think we'll be able to do it because, I mean, Fallen Hero makes so much money and still no Corrupted Fallens. Okay, so the game's just being chill now. I remember those things being a huge issue, so, you know, I'm glad that I don't have to encounter them. That being said, let me get some max snipers. Actually, I don't think max is worth it. I'm gonna get level 3 for now. But I don't think I actually want more snipers. I think I want more militants just because they'll just get more damage dealt. Here's the Corrupted Fallens being absolutely turned into nothing. Oh yeah, it was Fallen Rushers that were actually an issue, not the Corrupted Fallens, yeah. But regardless, I mean, you can see they just get completely frozen. I used a grenade on this one and it can't move. And despite how fast those things are, like, yeah, they can't do anything. Okay, this wave is going to be a solid test of our DPS. It's this guy who has, yeah, way too much HP. That being said, looks like some militants and Rocketeers are making quick work of this guy. Yeah, he's not getting anywhere. And we still got a long ways to go before we reach our max DPS potential here. I think at this point it's probably most worth it to continue going for Rocketeers. Now, the reason I'm setting them on random, I mean, this is obvious. You just want them shooting into the middle of hordes. Also, here comes Tank, being absolutely unable to move. I would have loved to use the grenade ability on him, but he's gonna die right as he reaches this freezer. Not gonna complain though. This wave has a lot of stuff. First time seeing enemies push up this far. Would certainly be concerning, but our defense is just way too good. And here's our raw flying damage, which is fantastic. Fallen Angel dies before it reaches this bend. Now what's crazy is I can still get another Rocketeer, bro. Like, this isn't enough somehow. There you go. We're now up to 8, and like, yeah, I mean, you can see. That's our placement limit. Nothing's getting anywhere, though. Time to start working on militants. Now, I still believe for militant, the most cost-efficient upgrade is, like, level 2. So, if I could find a way around this rock, it'd be really nice. Now, Fallen Honor Guard. Honestly, I'm going to max snipers for it, because these things will not be getting stunned. And with the amount of range we have to work with, I think they're going to make a pretty significant impact here. Now that I think about it, snipers are probably slightly more worth it than militants, just because I would be forced to place militants in really bad spots just because of how little placement I have to work with. But if I just get snipers right now and then replace them with militants like on the later waves, I think I'd get the best results that way. Now, Fallen Honor Guard makes it all the way over to here, which is pretty far, but keep in mind, when you consider the whole map, that was about only halfway. I still have a bunch of militants that I need to get down. And I think what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to have a freezer next to the track right here. This is obviously going to be my freeze support. We're going to have another militant right here. The goal is going to be to have the Honor Guard and the Guardians hopefully stun these two towers as opposed to, you know, what's actually important. That being said, having my defense split up like this is actually really nice because aggro enemies like this normally would mess me up. Oh, by the way, need to freeze this tank. Uh-oh, he's gonna push up. And sniped. The only reason he pushed that far is because my freeze grenade missed. And that should be the last time I have to worry about a threat like that. Otherwise, the solution wouldn't be too hard. I'd sell the freezer and move it to here. That being said, let me use a grenade over here and just freeze absolutely everything at the front. This is where Rocketeers are dealing some unholy I mean, all these things have 100,000 damage out. This isn't even funny. We're able to stun stuff like this Fallen Summoner and this Fallen Guardian, which just overall makes things so easy. Just like that, with this rinky-dink loadout, we're all the way on wave 40 on Fallen mode. Let's hope for the best here. I'm going to use this freeze grenade. In fact, I'm going to start microing the freeze grenade just because I think, you know, we could get some really nice stunning out of this thing. I'm gonna keep my militants unstunned as long as possible. Now here comes the Fallen King, stalling these Guardians out as long as possible. Got the Fallen King to waste his time stunning. Come on, gotta keep the stuns going. Oh my god, look at that. None of that can move. The more stuff I'm able to cluster up, like, the better. There goes a pretty big stun. I'm gonna keep these guys stunning. Okay, and now I gotta start selling and moving on my militants to start squeezing out as much damage as possible. Now microing freezes like that gets these Fallen Guardians stuck, and by the way, I should move all of these Rocketeers on first now because we do not want to be attacking the stuck Guardians. That makes things quite a bit easier to deal with. Now we have to just deal 150,000 damage to the Fallen King. I'm gonna start preemptively moving the militants right now, like these ones that don't really have great coverage. And he's certainly gonna push far, but are we gonna be able to win is the main question here. Okay, time to start moving over all the Rocketeers. This is my spot of choice right here. Okay, these snipers need to go. We need to start being really quick here. Okay, this is gonna be a difficult win. He's down to 60k HP, and he's being pretty dang relentless with his stuns. Oh my goodness, bro. Come on, 35k HP left. Gotta move the Rocketeers on over. 20k HP left. Come on, come on, come on. This is intense. Okay, just be quick. Just be quick. Micro, micro, micro. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. No way this just happened. On the Acropolis, bro. Not even freaking fungi. Holy crap, dude. My heart is beating fast. That was a fun challenge. Rebooting, sir. Yo, I don't even get to, like, review the map. No! Like, subscribe, use Star Cody, please. That was so hard.